Actors, we can make you believe we know.
ha 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 ha. Good morning, everybody. Nice to have you here today. Hello, hello, hello. All right. So here's the deal. I stayed up way too late last night. I am exhausted. I have zero energy. My tummy's a little upset. And I'm pooped. I pooped. So I was trying to think of what I wanted to do today for stream. Because I definitely wanted to stream. I love hanging out with you guys. But I wasn't up to feeling up to much. Oh, sleepy voice to Teresa, absolutely, yeah. Last night, I went out with some friends. It was a very nice time. I came home, but I didn't quite realize it at the time, but I had lost my phone. And when I realized that, I was like half awake and I was like, I can't deal with this right now. I'm gonna pass out. And then when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh no, my phone. I don't see it around the house. I can't find it. What happened to it? I had it on the way home, but what happened to it between there and getting home? Because it has my security key for SWTOR, it has my security key for like my other accounts and stuff like that. Go please sleep. No, we have something good. We have something good and chill to go do today. I'm very excited about, actually. I found it. I got home by a taxi, or like Uber, whatever. My phone had fallen out of my purse when I was getting out of the car, and I was so happy when I went outside and started really looking around. I found it in the middle of the road, and I was like, oh, thank God. Okay, like nobody has it. How did no one pick this up in the middle of the road and take my phone? But I was so happy. However, are you guys ready for the best part? Apparently, not only did nobody pick it up, but because it was still dark out, I think it got runned over. It smashed. But the best part is it still works. It's fully functional. So I actually have my security key. I can use my phone as long as I don't mind getting slivers of glass in my hand. That's fine. Everything's still working, so I'm actually really pleased. I'm really happy. I thought it was gone for good. So yeah, so I have any of you, and I wanted to ask, maybe you guys can give me some advice. Have any of you ever had a phone repaired where the screen is broken? Where the screen's broken, and just the screen. I'm very curious, yeah, because I've never had that done. I either use my phones until they just die of, like, one time the battery swelled and I had to go turn it in to like a safe deposit place because you can't just throw it in the garbage. Don't worry, I'll take it out. I will after, don't you worry. One time, twice I've left it in a taxi in Canada when I used to live up there. I have a very bad track record with phones. I don't buy fancy new ones anymore. Pug says, my phone got run over after I left it on my bumper. Oh no, and it flew up onto the road when he left the house. Okay, so kind of similar situation. Later, you found it outside the house. But the battery wouldn't keep a charge and I couldn't interact with it except remotely. Oh, I've never thought of that. If you still need access to your security keys, you might actually be able to have access to a phone if you can access it remotely. If you have plastic kitchen wrap it up. That's very smart. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good idea. At least I can keep using it and stop getting glass in my hand. Cluis says, I've never had a screen repaired. The repair was always half of what the phone was worth. Right. I've heard a lot of the time getting your phone repaired costs more than just buying a new phone. Oh, okay, so here we go. We have the same kind of similar advice from Haven. Haven says, it depends. The cost of repairing the screen is just as much as buying a new phone. Other times the price is okay. Okay, cool. So I'll let's see. I guess I'll get it checked, but don't be surprised if it's too expensive and not really worth it. Yeah. Oh, that's so sad. Josh says most of my phones end up in the water somehow, and most embarrassing, it ended up in my toilet after Butterfingers. Oh my gosh. Mr. Swtorista has dropped his phone in the luckily clean toilet before. That was a fun one. Gannikin says, I I have on my iPhone a crack, but the face recognition didn't work after. Oh, I guess I'm lucky then. I just have my little passcode and it's functioning fully. How cracked is it? Sometimes they can just put a special sealer on it. I'll show you. Hang on. You guys ready? It's quite... Hang on, I have an email. It's quite cracked. It's in pretty bad shape. I don't think this one's gonna be able to be epoxied or whatever it would be called. Limes just says I just buy a new one when it's cracked. Yeah, I think that's the more common practice because of what we were talking about earlier, how it's more expensive. Revenite says I drop my old phone on the floor all the time. If you put a case on, the kind that is slightly squishy and has a hard back, and especially if you put the thicker plexiglass or whatever it's called, your phone can go through a lot. Ever since I started buying those types of cases and not caring about the fact that my phone's less cute with a big chonker case, I have not broken it from dropping it for a very 10 years now. Do you have like a screen protector? Yeah, a screen protector might do the trick. Yeah, because the touch all seems to still be working. That might do the trick for now. Yeah. Yeah. John says, if it's paid off, some mobile carriers will take it back as a trade-in in any condition, but depends on your finances. Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. I originally bought it straight from Google. It's like a couple generations back, and they were getting rid of the old ones. Hey, DCH, better have the screen protector cracked than the screen protector. Oh, right. Then the screen protector. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Knock on wood, but I've never had a cracked screen or otherwise. Broken phone. Wow, lucky. Apart from my first touchscreen one, which I knocked off a table desk a few times while it was plugged in, and the USB charger port broke. Yep. Poor Mr. Swtorista. That's always what happens to his phones, is the charger stops working and he can't use it anymore. My dad's the ultimate test for any phones and phone cases for all the hard work he does. Oh, does he? Hopefully your dad uses something like an Otter case or something like that. Absolutely. Oh, that's so funny. Josh said when their phone broke, Josh no longer uses a password that has certain numbers because it's so broken. I don't even have a cell phone. Wow, that's pretty impressive. I would have a hard time in my life without a cell phone. Sorry, I don't know. I'm tired today. I'm just gonna yak probably. When cell phones started being able to have Google Maps, that was it for me. I wanted a phone with me every single second of my life. I get lost very easily. Helps a lot with my anxiety, knowing when I have my phone here, if I need to look something up or I get lost, I can just look at it. Amazing. Just save my life. Technology definitely has its pros and cons, but that one is just... goodness gracious, thank you. Thank you, world. Jared says, I had a boss that breaks his phone every 2 months. They had to get him a giant OtterBox case for it. Right, that's every 2 months. That's honestly, that's kind of what my track record was before. And I would just have to continue using a broken phone, because replacing a phone every 2 months, that's a lot. But interestingly enough, sorry, kind of side departure. When I started dealing with my anxiety disorder more properly, professionally, like doctor and stuff, the better that got, the less I did things like drop and lose my phone. Like, my coordination got better because I was less panicking. So, like, panicking, drop your phone, worrying about something, not paying attention, losing stuff because being forgetful because worrying about other things. It's kind of like crazy how it's one-to-one like that. Plexus says, I want my early aughts. Oh, you want your early aughts phone back with the slide-up keyboard. Oh my god, that phone. Hank, was it the Razer Motorola phone? No, this isn't the one that slide out. Oh my god, slide phone? What were those called? They were so cool. Slide phone. They were kind of like this, but a little clunkier, I think. Slide phone blue? Mine was like electric blue, and I loved it so much. That was by far my favorite phone. Sidekick! The side, oh gosh, that's the one. So these phones were actually really, really cool. They were really neat. They had a full, basically QWERTY keyboard. And I was like, wow. Oh, you guys can't see very well, I see. They were really neat. I actually was really mad when this phone eventually bit the dust. Because they didn't really sell them anymore, and I wasn't ready to upgrade to a smartphone yet. I didn't want one because this phone was so damn cool. Like, it is, and it's very satisfying. Flick, 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 flick. It was like practically a fidget toy. That was a nice one. DCH says, I miss my old iPod Nano. I got it washed, and I lost all my music on it. My other Nano had the headphones port go out. Oh, got bent inwards and you couldn't connect your headphones. Can you still buy iPod Nano? I never had one of those when I was younger because they were very expensive at the time, but they were so cool. I had various knockoffs from Walmart when I was younger. The iPods at the time, they were neat though, because they had the screen. They had the actual screen, so you could look through your music and stuff like that. The player who was saying that they don't have a phone, they said, I haven't had one for 6 years. I don't miss it. That's really neat. I'm glad you're enjoying not having one, but I'm glad we have you here on the computer. I imagine that's what you use for most of your technology needs there. Strahl says, this touch screen is a distinct faceplate mounted inside the case. It can fairly easily be opened and replaced, but you might need to go to an independent shop for the cost savings. Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, the screen is a thing of its own. But whether it costs an arm or a leg is kind of more up to the person charging, right? All right, let's take a look at the news. Oh my gosh, I love reading all your guys' little phone anecdotes. This is so cute. Oh, and your iPod memories. Oh, why are we looking at iPod Nanos? Oh, I smashed my phone, so we were just kind of on the conversation of old technology in general. I smashed my phone and I'm going back to an iPod to call people. All right, sale of the day is the droid companion named IO8. It's the one that looks like it's from IOCATH. It's 525 cartel coins. The Twitch shops are currently live, and you can get a decoration. I just realized now that the text talks about a mount, but there's no mount right now. Let's see what else. Can you talk about the dev stream, please? I missed it. No way, Jedi Revenite. No way. I got about 5 hours of sleep last night. I can't do it. We talked about it all yesterday, but I will tell you I'm excited generally. And if you want to learn more about the dev stream, I am happy to show you what's coming up here. Let's link that real fast. 771. There you go. And for those of you on YouTube, here's the link as well. Can you pilot a Star Destroyer? In real life? In real life, can you pilot a Star Destroyer? Yeah, absolutely. As long as you hook it up to the iPod, you have to USB connect them. Yeah, I can't do it today. I'm so sorry. Did I rough it? I'm gonna keel over. But absolutely, go take a look at that article. But yeah, we now have the date is to be announced, but it's in later August at some point, so later next month. Galactic Seasons 9 is the big thing that's being added. But lots of other cool stuff in there as well. Ro Valentine, hi there for the first time. Ro says, time to roll a Miraluka sniper. I always thought that combination was hilarious. I can't see you, but I can kill you. Oh yeah. There's going to be a subscriber-only event starting September 9th. It's not really an event where you do stuff, just an event where you get stuff for logging in. When is Galactic Season 9? That will be released with update 7.7.1. We do not have a date. Sometime late August. Nightlife event is currently running. A login bonus, yeah, exactly. It's not very exciting, but we'll see when we get there. Could be fun. We'll see what the rewards are. PvP Season 8 is currently running. Feast of Prosperity, we also now have a date for, and I put the pictures of the new rewards that you can get on the Feast Guide, and that will be coming out on October 7th. Oh yeah, speaking of Galactic Seasons Guide and Rewards. I wanted to show you guys something cool. I have went and updated the Galactic Seasons page. I've always had this page, but I have been kind of continuously upgrading it over the years. And I have now added a picture for every single one of the like 158 rewards you can get from the Galactic Seasons vendor, and a link for most of them. So you can literally just browse through and kind of decide what you want to get all on one page now, which is really nice. And like, let's say you wanted to see, what's a good example? You wanted to see you wanted to see, oh, the HK-55 jetpack. You're like trying to decide whether it's worth it or not. You can now click into the image and the link, and it'll link you to like a page on the site that has more information. So in this case, it even has a video. It tells you it has a mount flourish and tells you some similar mounts you could get instead. So like that'll be the same for pretty much all of the different decorations. So yeah, really, really happy about that. This is a long project that I've been working on with Zach for a while, and I'm super happy to have it finished. And something else really cool, another spreadsheet secretly in the background, is the Cartel Market sale that started, the mount sale. Mount sale. Here's the mount sale. I was able to go through and catalog all of the different mounts that are currently on sale in a way that I didn't lose my mind. Normally what I would do is I tried doing it by hand. Then another time I had Zach do it. Then another time I had an idea of what if I did some like automated work. Maybe I could extract the text from the images. And now I have a really awesome setup. I'm so happy I was able to set up a system so that I can pull the sales data from the Cartel Market and put it into a giant chart. So there's, I think, 120 mounts here for sale, on sale, and I've been able to put them into a chart. And in addition, I was able to use Google Sheets by name. I was able to link them up to my site, and you can click into them, and same type of thing. You see the Armored Woodland Varactile is on sale for 300 cc. Do you want to buy it? I don't know. You can click into it and you can see more information about it. This one doesn't have a video, but it does show you like more information and does show you like similar mounts and stuff like that. But some of them will have a video. Let's see what else. Yeah, for example, the Opulent Darmanda skiff has a video with it. You bought the Oriconian Hisses? Nice. So out of curiosity, has anyone bought any mounts from the sale? So Calber went and got the Dark Side Evil Varactile. That's what I like to call it. The Oriconian Hisses is a really nice, cool Dark Side mount. That's a good one, yeah. It wasn't on very good sale, I noticed. Oh, it said it was 80% off. Okay, I guess that's a pretty good sale. It's just normally expensive to start with. Yeah, this little critter is a good one here. John Wayne bought this one too. Nice. And the Armored Woodland Varactile. Awesome. I'm glad you're able to get the Varactile. That one's my favorite. And John says, otherwise, they're like 500 billion on the GTN. Expensive. Shurkin says, I recently got a cool, colorful lizard that was on sale. Oh, I wonder if you're talking about the Varactiles. Well, oh, this is green screened out. Nah. Hang on. Probably one of these little guys, right? Yeah, I like those guys. Miss Strahl says, I actually used to have a tech certification. Oh, very cool. The touchscreen display and glass plate are all in one as standard, unique to the broad design family. What are your recommendations for good mounts value for this sale? So I tried to take a good look. And some of the other sales that they had in the past, I could find some like really clear winners. Like, hot damn, this is cheap and highly discounted and really cool. I didn't find as much good intersection of that during this sale. The one that, like, if I'm making one recommendation, the Armored Woodland Varactile, because it is only 300 cartel coins, and this is literally like my favorite mount in the game. Like, I think they're really cool, iconic, and fun to run around on. That one by far is it. It's at 300 cartel coins, very cheap. A lot of the other ones, they're highly discounted, but I find they're still quite expensive. A lot of people have been saying they really like the Thrones or the meditation chairs, but there's still 450 cartel coins. Like, it still adds up. But if you're looking to get one and you have maybe cartel coins from Galactic Seasons or from your security key or your monthly cartel coins that you get from subscribing, like, you can afford one of these, which is pretty cool, just straight up from the 500 from subscribing. Yeah, and these, if you like the thrones, which one is it that you can pick up? It's one of these three. One of these should... oh, here we go. The Imperator's Command Hover Chair. You can pick it up in the Underworld Exchange section. And so, yeah, when you click into these pages, they will tell you more about each of the individual mounts and any potential other ways to get them to save you some money. But yeah, I'm super excited about... not necessarily the sale itself, but about the ability to catalog the sale. So we're going to have this. And we know that on July 30th is Mount, so that's running until probably August 10th. August 11th, Tunings, Toys, and Crystals will be on sale. August 23rd will be Weapons. September 4th will be Armor. September 16th will be Decorations. I'll be able to do the exact same thing with all of these coming up, and I'm so excited that I can do that without having to like handwrite them or asking Zach to spend a bunch of time handwriting them, because I'd rather he spend time making like guides and stuff like that than something so mundane. Yeah. Hi, Back. How are you doing? Oh, what are we talking about? Oh, you're back. Welcome back. Welcome back, Heather. Calber says, I thought of selling it on the GTN, the Hisses, but I said nah, and proceeded to ride it all over Drum and Cost with my Juggernaut. Yeah, right. Yes. Shirkin says, yes, similar to those Ractiles. My wife liked it, so I had to get it. Good. Enjoy your chicken horse. Enjoy. Gannigan says, I started playing this game again 2 weeks ago. Oh, welcome back to the game. Gannigan says, I have 70 plus hours just in this last 2 weeks. What type of character did you decide to make when you came back? You've been playing a lot. That's 35 hours a week. Okay, so I was talking about how I'm very tired today. I did not get enough sleep, and I just wanted to have a bit of a chill day. I'm also still kind of losing my voice, and because I was in good company last night, I was also yelling and talking loud because I don't know how to shut up when I'm with people I enjoy. Hey, why am I so loud on stream? Because you guys are nice company. Oh, a Mira Lucas sniper. That's right. That's the 2 Mira Lucas snipers in the last 2 weeks. So I was thinking about what we were talking about yesterday. We had a very nice player. I do apologize if they're here. I don't remember their name. They were asking about the Sith Inquisitor backstory. They were like, are lore questions allowed or are they banned? And I was like, yes, lore questions. They were asking about the backstory of the Sith Inquisitor. And I talked a bit about my Sith Inquisitor, Javik, and his backstory and how we tie it into the SWTOR official backstory. So I wanted to take a look at this. I made this series. It was a playthrough 8 years ago at this point. But in between playing, I made these 5 to 6 minute, oh gosh, they're not 5 to 6. Some of them are like 17 minutes long. These little videos where I kind of reflected on what I'd played and did some writing as a little journal entry for each playthrough to kind of flesh out Javik's backstory. So gonna go check it out. Oh, the in-game events have been updated? Oh, thank you. We'll have Zach go and update it. Yeah. 5, 6, 17, same thing, right? Yeah, a little bit of variation there. So I kind of just wanted to go in and watch these old videos and see what I'd kind of made up for my character 8 years ago, because I remember really enjoying it at the time, and I remember being happy with the story I came up with. So we're gonna chill out and watch some roleplay lore related stuff today. Cheers! I'm gonna eat my croissant.
The Old Republic, a new series
So quiet.
by
Hang on.
Swtorista, focusing on playing the game for the first time. Well, not quite. If you've never been to my channel before, I create videos for Star Wars The Old Republic about all different parts of the game, whether it's PvP.
How's our volume doing? I'm not even sure I can make it go any louder. Hopefully we're okay.
Crafting, or just how to find cool armor. I've been playing the game for a really long time, since before it came out 5 years ago in fact. But since I've been focusing on all different types of things on this channel, I've kind of stopped playing the game, and I've kind of lost the wonder of SWTOR.
That is no longer true. That's so cute. I don't remember talking about it in that way. I kind of lost the wonder of SWTOR. That's so interesting. Now that I stream, I very specifically play the game at least like while we're on stream, 2 hours a day, give or take. Oh, that's so sweet. That's really cool. I still do all the spreadsheet stuff, but I also get to play, which is nice.
In this series, I'm going to be creating a brand new account, a free-to-play account in fact, and I'll be playing the game from level 1 from scratch. And I'll be character select screen, focusing on the story.
I miss it. I really, when they were redoing the character select screen, what? This also, why are you telling me to uninstall and delete my account? What do we do? My baby.
You stuck up, half-witted, scruffy-looking.
Hey, Milk, thank you. Milk has such a nice message. Thank you for all that you do. Can't tell you how helpful you've been for so long. Thank you, Milk. That's so sweet of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. So yeah, when they were upgrading it, I was really excited because it did need some upgrades. Like, it did need some work. But when they were working on it on the test server, the one with the black background, I thought it was like partially finished. But now it's so cool. Revenite says, where do you take notes or write the backstories of your characters? If you know any specific websites for that. I don't know if I'm going to be the best example to ask. I'm pretty sure I wrote most of these in a literal notepad. Like like they were mostly just for me. If you like, I was just writing them on my phone while I was commuting and stuff like that. And writing is whatever. Don't worry too much about the tools. If you're just starting writing, just start writing on whatever is actually nearby. You don't need to get fancy, just write. But if you're looking to share your role play, a lot of people actually use Tumblr and use the little hashtag SWTOR, the SWTOR tag, and it's actually a fairly popular thing to do over there. And you can see a lot of other people's characters and backstories there, and art and stuff like that. Yeah, old character select screen looks really good. I was really hoping they would go back to the character select screen and like add these backgrounds, right? You know, and stuff like that. I'm okay with the icons being missing, even though I like them. I understand why they removed them, but dang. I don't know. The official Discord, there's a fan fiction and art section. Oh, that's super cool. Let me link the official Discord real fast here. Hang on. It's this one is discord.gg/SWTOR. And I'll link that for you guys in YouTube too. If you ever wanted to check out the big Discord there. And yeah, Slippy Minaj is over on the YouTube side of things, and they took a 7-year hiatus and came back. Slippy has been playing a sorcerer and said the guides have been essential in getting caught up. You are the GOAT. Thank you. Bye.
Story, the lore, the world, and the wonder of Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's an amazing game, and I have so many good memories of playing the game when it first came out that I want to try and recapture. I know it's impossible to completely capture those feelings of amazement at playing the game for the first time, because most of them came from the surprise of seeing what's new around the corner. But I'm certainly damn well gonna try. I hope you guys enjoy coming along on this journey with me. And I know Let's Plays and gameplay videos usually start at level 1 on the character creation screen, but I think we're gonna start with something a little different. A while ago, I announced I was going to do this series, and I started gathering feedback from you guys. Often when players create characters in Star Wars: The Old Republic, they create their own lore, background, and history for their character that isn't included in the main part of their game.
Isn't it so interesting how much my presentation style has changed? I think this one didn't have a script. I think I had bullet points for this one, but I'm so much more soft-spoken in the earlier videos. So weird to hear myself. This one's from 8 years ago, yeah. Like, I'm very still clear and mostly articulate, but it's very, very quieter. Have you ever tried a hardcore run? Right now I'm just quiet because I'm exhausted. Have you ever tried a hardcore run where any death means starting over? Hey, Plexis. Plexi, that's a great question. So I've never done a hardcore run because I really like video games to be fair. And in a hardcore run, if you've died, the reason you died should be because you didn't plan sufficiently, or you overestimated an enemy, or you made a bad decision in a fight for a hardcore game. In SWTOR, there's so many bugs, just because it's such a huge game. There's so many bugs that you could die from something that was never your fault in the first place, and I know that would drive me crazy. Like, it'd so upset me. So I've never even tried. The first time I ever played a hardcore challenge run was in Baldur's Gate 3, because I loved the game so much, and we were getting really good at it. And we died to an elevator bug like halfway through, and I was so pissed. Like, it really genuinely upset me, and I stopped playing. So I don't think I would want to do that with SWTOR. I think I would be too cranky about it. Yeah, like you can get stuck in a wall, you get stuck in a rock. I once had a bug in SWTOR where I somehow simultaneously, my character was dead and needed to return to med center, but they were also somehow magically in combat, so they couldn't revive and they couldn't die properly, and I had to literally get another person to come get me out. I can't imagine having that type of bug happening when I'm like playing a hardcore run, like that kind of quality of bug. Mistral, thank you so much for all the nice notes about the phone. Appreciate it. That's so sweet. Hey, Peroas. Hey. I have been doing well. I actually got to go out with friends last night, and it was a lot of fun. Bugs. Hi, all. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you too, I bear. Clua says, is there a skill or experience decrease person on the fleet, or is he not there anymore? So he's only there. You can buy an item to decrease your experience gain, but only during double XP you can buy it. It is usable year round, but to get the item only happens during double XP. Oh, an elevator killed you once, and I got stomped by an ice striper on Hoth once too. Okay, one of those things, probably both of those things are your fault. Did the elevator kill you by smushing you, or did the elevator kill you because you decided to walk onto the elevator while the elevator was down? Because that's a very common way to die in SWTOR. But that would be a very fair hardcore run death.
Some people do it for roleplay, as part of their character biography, and some people just do it as part of their own story, when they're playing by themselves, to think about when they're making choices in the game. This is an extremely story-heavy game, but it doesn't mean you can't make your own story outside of it. I'm going to be playing the Inquisitor story. The Inquisitor is an Imperial Sith, but unlike the Sith warrior, they're kind of forced into becoming a Sith. They were a slave to start with. We don't quite know what type of slave they were, and it's not really important to the game, just that they didn't come from noble birth or anything like that. In fact, as I play, you may hear the words slave, slave, slave said about 40 million times. So I decided to ask my channel, what kind of slave might I be? What my history might be? Where did I come from? I'm going to be playing as a Cathar, a cat-like species that was actually created for the night.
Javik, my boy! Though I didn't like seeing bald Javik there for a second. Not a fan.
Of the Old Republic game, the precursor to Star Wars The Old Republic. It's a very special race, very connected to the lore of this game. The Cathar, or Cathar, depending on how you want to say it, come from a planet of the same name that was pretty much decimated in the Mandalorian Wars. A few Cathar escaped, but not that many, and the planet itself is pretty genocided up. Like I said, this video is going to be a little different than the rest of this series. That'll be actual gameplay. But this time around, we're going to be talking about the roleplay background and the history of my character that we're making up right now. Alpha commented, have you ever watched the Clone Wars? There was an episode or two called Slaves of the Republic that was super interesting, on a planet called Zagiria. If you're planning on playing a male, maybe a former slave from that planet who fought in the gladiator pits, or something like that, maybe a Sith Lord was attending a spectacle and sensed that you were strong in the Force and took you to Korriban to train. A lot of you guys suggested things like the Cathar warrior, gladiator pits, or slave pits, because the Cathar are really well known for being a very strong race, a whole lot stronger than humans. I decided I wanted to try and stay away from that idea. It seems to be like a really strong, easy to pick background for your Cathar. So if you're making a Cathar, you're not sure what to do, and want to stick to something really lore appropriate, slave pits or gladiator pits would definitely be great. I want to stray away from the normal though. And I started with this random thoughts I had for myself that I actually posted in the comments just to get some feedback. It was a spur of the moment thing. Maybe they were a smuggler who was recently enslaved by the Sith after getting caught. I didn't have much more than that. They just were a smuggler, someone who worked on a ship, someone who wasn't a gladiator. I really like this comment by Wolf Alpha 900. Maybe give him a kind of unique sense of honor or personal code rather than the usual Sith kill everything style. The Sith are pretty well known for this, and I thought it'd be kinda neat. But I didn't know how he would get that unique sense of code. He's gonna earn it from somewhere, right? When you're thinking about the background for your character, if you're not quite sure what your actual character is about, maybe you can try going back and talking about their family first. Where did they come from? You're usually a product of your parents. And this is true in role-playing, making up character stories as well. A lot of my other characters actually have mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters too, so why not this new character? It wasn't something I actually thought about until people started posting in the comments about their family. This one was posted by Casey. Maybe for a background, you are a son of a Cathar warrior who was defeated and enslaved during the Great Galactic War. Perfect, that's the right timeline. The Mandalorian Wars were 300 plus years ago. That's not gonna work. You are raised.
Sorry, your parents can't be 300 years old. Oh, female Javik. Wow.
A slave, but end up going to Korriban after it's discovered that you're force sensitive. Case's comment made me start thinking about, well, that I have parents as a character, as a person, as a living being. Not quite a human being, a Cathar being. And I like the idea of my character's dad being a part of the Galactic War. The Galactic War is, from what I understand, you'll have to bear with me as I create stories and learn about the lore of this game. I am very bad for dates, barely past history, and we have a lot of trouble with the Old Republic era because we don't have strong dates to start with. We know vaguely when some things happen, but other things, there's like a 10-year span they could have happened in. Ask 10 different people when exactly the Star Wars The Old Republic game kicks in after the Treaty of Coruscant, and you'll get 10 different answers. But I think my dad dying fits in well in the timeline of being during the Great Galactic War. Does that make sense? Anyone really smart with the lore and read way too much can confirm that? As far as I understand, it's a maximum of about 10 to 15 years ago, but it could have been like he could have died before that or shortly after that, somewhere around there. I'm also not entirely sure how old my character would be.
Oh, I'm so mad. I was talking about the idea of like timelines, and we have to have a character, if they have a backstory, it has to actually fit into the timeline. It can't be like, my dad was in the war 300 years ago. Cluis in chat just said, Carbonite frozen Cathar warrior from the Galactic War. Oh, that makes me so angry. So I guess you totally could have any type of character from any timeline with Carbonite. Oh wait, aren't you still alive? You're still alive when you're in Carbonite, right? You're not like frozen in time? Like Carbonite, how long can you be frozen in Carbonite before you like expire of old age? Hey there, Timbo. Justin says, I'm so sorry, that's funny. So Justin was saying, Justin accidentally bought a mount they already had and weren't able to use it because you're right clicking it and nothing happens. And customer support told Justin that you already have the mount. Go find it in collections. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, it's for Treek. Oh, even better. I understand why that may be a little confusing there. But yeah, I hope you, okay, so Treek's very interesting. I want to tell you something very important about Treek, and I unfortunately can't show you on the screen because I don't have the game open right now. But you'll be able to find Treek in collections, I think. I usually use the menu. I'm sorry, I don't remember the hotkey for it, but there's a better way to buy her across multiple characters if you have some credits saved up. If you're new to the game, the collection system might still be better for Treek. But if you go into your legacy panel, I think you can pay 1 million credits to re-unlock Treek. Or is it you get her from... Oh, no. It's 300k. Hang on, let me. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's only 300,000 credits. Yes. Okay. Treek unlock SWTOR. Maybe I can find a picture someone put online of the legacy panel. Ah, awesome. Here it is. Exactly. it'll be down here. It's a little picture of Treek. It'll be in the character perks section on the right hand middle side, and you can pay 300,000. It does require level 10 and legacy level 40 though. But yeah, that might be a better option than paying the cartel coins through the collection system. Just kind of have to compare. Who has credits left after paying for all the quick travel? Not I. Oh my gosh. There was an amazing post the other day that I really, really liked. Someone was asking about, they were asking something like, question as a new player, what am I doing wrong? They had finished their first couple of planets, and then they went to go quick travel, and they couldn't because they didn't even have the 150 credits to fly to the next planet. And we were like, how did you manage that? A lot of people were saying, like, by the level that you're at, I would have thousands of credits at that point. What happened? And apparently, I think what happened was they accidentally went to Coruscant and were exploring around, and I thought this was just a great one. Just kind of the different weird experiences that people have, especially when they're new, because they don't have the same knowledge that us playing for a long time have, and just things that like, I'm going through the exact same thing in World of Warcraft now, just absolutely boggling the mind of my friends I'm playing with because I do weird new player stuff just out of not knowing. Okay, so what happened was, what I think happened is they went to Coruscant, they said, and they said, I bought some armor, and then they didn't have enough credits to really do anything else. And I was like, oh my god. I think they went to the where's the credits, to the planetary vendors on Coruscant and saw a cool piece of armor, and then maybe didn't really look at the credit cost. Like, there's some cool armors there, like the Coruscanti Knight. They're 200,000 credits each. Each piece. So if you're like level like 30 or 40, that's going to be like all the credits to your name, right? I thought that was great. I was like, it's just fun to see posts like that of people experiencing the game for the first time. Yeah, it could be the legacy vendors too, but I kind of doubt it. Those are super expensive, aren't they? Let me double check. Let's see, legacy vendor. They're about the same price. They're 250,000 credits each, but those require legacy level 20. So I figured if they were a new player, they probably hadn't gotten that far yet. Yeah, those. Iper's like 200,000 credits. Yeah, these are kind of cool armor sets. So the idea was that back in the day, these armor sets would be part of the what were they originally attached to? I think they were random drops or something like that. They used to be what you get maybe from leveling up on the planets, and they switched up how gear was rewarded as you level. I think that was because they changed over to the combat style system, and they had to change the way the loot was rewarded to go with that, so they could just kind of revamp the system in general. Where am I going? I'm trying to get to credits. I'm trying to get to planetary specialty vendors, but they still wanted to give people, especially longtime players, access to these armors, so they basically put them all on vendors, which was very, very, very nice, because otherwise they would have kind of gotten lost, and some of these looks you wouldn't be able to get any other way. Some of them are duplicates, but some are unique, which is super cool. And plus it makes it a very not an easy way, because they are still expensive, but a very guaranteed way. This is actually a set that I really, really like. This one, the Belsava's Smuggler. I love that one. It was from the planetary story. Got it. Like the chain quest for Coruscant and the Greek quest line. Got it. Yeah, nice. But yeah, so like, it's the weird little stuff you can run across as a new player. So I love hearing about your guys' weird little experience, and I love seeing the questions you guys ask, because I'm like, wow, I would have never even thought someone would run into that issue. Pretty neat. All right, let's go jump back into the little video here.
But I'm just going to leave it at somewhere between about 18 and 25 and not worry too much about it.
Talking
Seems
about
to be the
age.
easiest thing to do. And this is posted by Infinite NA, and a couple other people actually posted about this. Be a Cathar from Terrace. You see them in-game. And what's really cool is you actually see Cathar, like clumps, I guess. Probably a better word for that. Settlements. Not tribes or clans, I don't think. That doesn't quite work. But you see them on Terrace. They've kind of resettled. Terrace used to be a thriving metropolis, and then it gets bombed by the evil Sith way back in the day, and now it's kind of a wasteland, but people are slowly returning to it. And there's Cathar there, and that's part of one of the storylines, so maybe I'm from there, maybe my dad's from there, maybe my mom's from there. I'm just kind of keeping that in mind right now. I didn't actually go with it, but I really like the idea of having some type of connection to Terrace. Maybe some of my ancestors actually went there when they were fleeing Cathar. I don't know. Now, when I was deciding whether I was going to play a male or a female character, apart from the actual aesthetics and the voice actors, which can contribute a lot to whether you like a character or not, I decided to play the male character mainly because I hadn't seen the male romance, which is with Ashara. She's a young Padawan, and I won't tell you too much about her in case you haven't met her yet. But Varigal Z commented and really made me decide I wanted to try it out. They said, "My first character was a male Inquisitor, and Ashara romance is very interesting as she is a Jedi, and her insight is on point about the differences between the Sith and the Jedi. And that opinion made me love the character so much. So I'm definitely going to try that out. Other people have said she's really whiny. I guess we'll see when we get there. I definitely enjoyed having her as a companion as a female character. It was very cool to see the dynamic between them. Another cool comment about Ashara was by Alexander Asimov. And they said...
I need to take a moment here. Honoria said, "Does the existence of Cathar imply the existence of Doghar?" Oh my gosh, that one was terrible. My character starts off as a full dark side sadist, but later after he meets his Padawan, he becomes influenced by her and ends up in some type of in-between gray area. I really like this comment because in my playthrough with the female... Important question from Nostrum. All caps, how have you not played the Ashara romance? Okay, first off, this video is 8 years old that we're watching. I hadn't played it 8 years ago. I actually haven't played all of the romance by any means. Because there's so many different variations, and to play them all, you need to make one of every class, so 8. One of every male, female, so 16. And then some of them have multiple romances. For example, dark side, light side, Jace is different, and I would consider those 2 separate romances. And there's some where you get actually a choice of romance, so you'd probably need about like 20 characters just to play all the romances of the original class story. Like, that's a lot of characters, okay? All right. Are there RP guilds active on Darth Malgus? So I am so the wrong person to ask that. I have not actively roleplayed or been a part of the roleplay community for over a decade. Like, very much was super into it near the launch of the game, but things have changed a lot. I've linked you the guild finder. That would be a good place to start. I also have something... Let me grab something for you really fast. Swtorista RP servers. So there's no such thing as RP servers, I'm sure you're aware, but people still ask. And so I put together this resource called RP servers, just where you would find more information about that, as well as where you might find guilds and forums. A lot of stuff probably happens on Discord these days, and that's kind of behind closed doors, so I don't know how you find out about a good Discord to join for RP in the first place. Character. I felt like I was influencing her. I was the master. I was the powerful one, and she would have to kind of come around to my way of thinking. And she definitely did in the end. But in Asimov's idea, it's the other way around. You get more influenced by her, even though she's younger and she's kind of under your sway. But you really listen to what she has to say. And this is a comment that really got me thinking about what my character could actually be. So thank you so much, the Almighty Ophical. Your comment was great. They kind of called me out. They said, slaves are sometimes people who work at the mines, people who work at shops like Anakin Skywalker when he was a child, people that are forced to build buildings, statues, and even starships. Servants of the Empire in every way. And they made a joke about the fact that I only mentioned sexy dancing slaves. Obviously, there's a lot more slaves in the Empire than that, and I'm so glad you guys posted about what they could be. And then there was a great comment that was actually about slaves in the Empire.
For slavery in the Empire, there's an actual codex entry in the game, and as you play the game, you discover the codexes. They're kind of written entries about all types of things in the game. There's planets, there's factions, there's just...
Winter is sharing Happy International Beer Day and World Astronomers Day. You know what? If you know any astronomer, you should definitely buy them a beer or a chocolate milk, depending on their preference. Absolutely good combo there. Thank you as always, Winter. Beer Day. Oh, waifu, you're trying to give the ice cat kitten. I have trouble with that one sometimes. I've had trouble finding who you give it to as well. It's usually someone in the cantina, I think, is the actual answer if you want to go give that a shot.
Just kind of any type of history about any object, person, place, group of people, pretty much everything. And they said that in that codex, there's 2 types of ways that a character could be sold into slavery. The first is that they're born into slavery and they're actually very loyal to the Empire. They kind of had a sort of Stockholm syndrome. And the second is that obviously they're sold into slavery in some way or another, and they're very bitter and almost broken. They don't want to be there at all. And that was by Critches, who posted that. And I really had to sit down and think, do I want a character that was born into slavery and kind of very loyal to the Empire, or someone who would fight at the yoke at any chance? And I decided I didn't want to be loyal to the Empire, but I think that would be really, really interesting to roleplay. But it'd be a lot harder to have confrontations. You just kind of go along with everything, I think. And on top of the comment about slaves being able to work so many different places, there was also this comment. Maybe give him some backstory that links into the story a little bit, such as saying he was part of the team that was working on the unfinished Colossus on Droman Kos, and possibly one of the leaders of the slave rebellion who was captured but caught the attention of a Sith Lord who sent him to Korriban to study dark side. This would give you an emotional attachment to that part of the story. Maybe he even helped Scotia build a secret bunker and hates the Sith Lord because of this. Maybe Scotia knew that. Spoilers! Let's not read that next part because it's spoilers, but Joseph Henricher made a really cool point that it'd be really interesting to link your backstory with something you'd actually visit in-game. I thought that would be really neat when you're walking around doing your quest and all of a sudden you come across a place where you were formerly a slave. That would be really neat to think about when you're walking around. And this is from our Lord and Savior Nicolas Cage. Thank you, sir. He said... Just give me a second. Okay. I'm laughing because I say our Lord and Savior Nicolas Cage often comment on my channel, and his name always gives me the giggles. But he said...
It still
properly
does!
serious...
I was like, I remember that person. What a good name.
This comment that I'm trying not to laugh so I can read. Many generations back, at the time of the Mandalorian Wars, your family lived on the planet of Cathar. Back then, they were known as seers and witches, as they displayed strong affinity to the dark side of the Force. When Castus Fett committed genocide on the Cathar, your family fled and became free traders, forsaking the Force-using ways of your ancestors, as they were deemed impractical and dangerous. And I really like the idea of, at some point way, way back, my ancestors were very, very Force-sensitive and very interested in pursuing the Force, and then all of a sudden they were like, nope, we're done with this, we're going to become farmers and traders and no more of this crazy nonsense. Maybe something horrible happened, but it still is carried down in the bloodline, and that's how it got to me instead of just out of nowhere. And this is one I didn't use, but I thought it was kind of neat to talk about. A lot of you guys commented in some way or another that you discover you're Force sensitive from a traumatic event. Maybe you fight the Sith Lord that was enslaving you. Maybe you're in the slave pits and you're about to die, and then Force power everywhere and you save yourself. And this is kind of how one of my other characters becomes Force sensitive. They're trapped by Rakghouls, and the only way they're going to save themselves is if something magical happens, and it does. And this seems to be a kind of common backstory for both Jedi and for Sith. But I thought this comment was neat because it found a kind of calmer way of discovering your connection to the Force. And this is by Eddie. Eddie said, "You are not allowed to talk to any of the other slaves or any of the Mandalorians that enslaved you. Actually, you were not allowed to talk to anyone. Once you were a bit older, you heard a Mandalorian talking about the Force. Because you were not allowed to talk to anyone, you started meditating. So in Eddie's version of the story, you actually find the Force through yourself, just quietly building up your connection to the life around you only from a simple mention by a Mandalorian. Maybe he was saying, oh, I got zapped by that Sith lightning. I really felt it go through me. And you're like, what? And you just start thinking about it until your thinking becomes reality. And this is another one that I didn't use, but I really like. It's about secretly infiltrating the Empire. And this is by Slow Music. And Slow Music, you might not know, but I commented to you that Chill, who is my good friend who's on Utini Cast, it's a Star Wars The Old Republic podcast, this is how he's playing one of his characters. You're not actually a bad guy, but sometimes you have to do bad things. This is what Slow Music had to say. How about you're secretly infiltrating the Sith? Since you're already a hero to the Cathar, you try to keep low and don't use all your Force potential right at the start so you don't come off as suspicious. And that would be a really fun story to roleplay on almost any type of character. So if you're not sure how you can start your character's story off, try starting with they're a spy or an agent or a plant and go from there. When Chill was playing, this made for some really interesting conversations and choices when you got to the cutscenes. In the cutscenes, you can sometimes choose to kill someone or to just let them live. And when it comes to the Sith cutscenes, letting someone live isn't always the best option. You might want to kill them so that they don't mess something up, or you might want to kill them as a show of power, and if you don't, you're weak. Chill sometimes chose to kill the person even though it was a morally bankrupt thing to do. But he didn't want to blow his cover quite yet. And here's a comment that really helped me cement what I wanted my character to be. And this is about where they would settle down and being free traders. Quite a few people post about being free traders, and I really like the idea. Not 100% clear about what I would do with it yet, but this is what Maslow had to say. So how about this? Your family lived a free life as traders throughout the galaxy. After a satisfying and successful career, they settled on Alderaan, where you are a young kit of about 8 or 9. When life was good and plentiful there, the infighting of the great houses continued to escalate until it finally reached your front door. And another thing that kind of I liked was the idea of being a slave to a high-profile Sith. And Piper of Farts, nice name, said, maybe your character is a slave to a high-profile Sith that sees your potential and takes you on as an apprentice before the Jedi killed your master. The only place you could finish your training would be Korriban. I'm also really bad at thinking of names. My main characters have names, but then all my side characters have names that are actually words. Like I have Eavesdrop, I have Shelter, I have Prosper, I have Disconnect, I have Sen.
Wait,
I'm
what?
very proud of snagging that up on a quiet server.
What was one of those?
And have names, but then all my side characters have names that are actually words. Like I have Eavesdrop, I have Shelter, I have...
Shelter? Shelter's a great name. I don't remember having a character named Shelter. I wonder if I had like a tank a really long time ago named Shelter. That's cool. I don't remember that at all. That's neat. Have a good sleep, Spartan. Thanks for popping in.
Prosper, I have Disconnect. I have Sen. I'm very proud of snagging that up on a quiet server. And I have GTN Please is my very creative character name. So I was very happy when you guys suggested some really great names in the comments for this new character. And we had Mole TM say, I was thinking a name such as Javik. And Mole, I really like that name. And we also had the Toxic Pleb. Great name as well for you, sir. But they said in parentheses, can his name be Veda? And that sounds like Hutta. So I said, sure. Why not? So now that I've told you everything that everyone else has said, let's talk about what I decide my character would be.
Wow, I remember playing this series, and I vaguely remember doing the Wonder Talk, which was the in-between where I talked rather than played. And oh my gosh, I don't remember getting so many cool comments and so many good ideas. This is so neat to listen to. I really like it. People are so creative. So basically, I think I made a video before this where I kind of was floating questions, like a bunch of questions, like where did I come from, what's my name, what's my background, what's just like, and a bunch of people left comments, and I kind of strung them together in a tapestry to make this video in a way that made sense. I wasn't just reading every comment down the list. It was like kind of by category, by how I wanted to kind of shape this narrative. Super cool. PR says, I actually haven't considered the idea that someone who was born into slavery is bound to have Stockholm Syndrome. So that even if I roleplay that character as coming to hate the Empire, they would have to overcome the Stockholm Syndrome first. Yeah, so I don't, listening, so I made this 8 years ago. I'm not as married to the idea now that someone who would be in that situation would be loyal to the Empire, but it would have been something that they've been through their entire life. They would have to overcome a lot to actively like want to get out of the situation, because I'm sure they've tried multiple times and just kind of given up. It's just like it's the way things have always been, and like slavery in the Empire is so ubiquitous. Like it's practically like being a restaurant worker, or what's some really other common jobs, or being like a warehouse worker or something like that. Not similar in what you actually do or how you get paid or not paid, just in the fact that everybody does that job. Like that's what everybody does. There's just a bajillion people in the Empire who are simply slaves, and that's just how it is. But yeah, very, very interesting, the concept of role-playing someone who's been born into slavery in the Empire versus someone who has been forced into it at a later date. And especially the concept playing with the idea that maybe your parents were free and you never have been. Very cool.
Everyone else has said, let's talk about what I decide my character would be. And I absolutely know for sure that if everyone had not commented, my character story would not be nearly as vibrant and complex as the one that I decide to choose. So I think I'm going to continue on with asking you guys either where I should go in the story, or maybe just continue on the roleplay story. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to try and do it so that you guys can comment in even if you don't watch the whole gameplays, because I know many of you have played it 1,000 times over. And here we go. Here's my biography for my new Inquisitor Cathar. His name is Javik Vada. The Vada family can trace their lineage all the way back to Cathar, where they were originally farmers and traders. Generations ago, members of the Vada family were able to smuggle themselves away from the planet on a freighter full of refugees, one of the few families that were able to survive the attack by the Mandalorians and the genocide of Cathar. The Vada family eventually landed on Alderaan and built a home for themselves as close allies of House Ald, once again returning to their roots as farmers and traders, but also creating strong neutral trade ties with the Sith-aligned houses, including House SWTOR and even House Ulgo, even going so far as to serve as pages in their houses. This tradition carried on through the Vada generations, until the Galactic War began to break out, where Javik Vada's young father decided to join the war effort and was shipped off to Dathomir, hoping to stop the genocide of a planet so close to their ancestors' home of Cathar. Not long after, the noble houses began to make declarations of violence of their own, leaving Javik's mother unsure of their safety on the planet. Not having heard from her husband and presuming him dead in the war, she quietly extracted her son, who was serving as a page under House Ulgo, and together they packed a majority of their trade goods into one of their cargo ships and left their Alderaanian homeland behind. Unfortunately, they were not able to escape the war, even in the vastness of space. Through a series of miscommunications and misunderstandings, they ventured into Imperial space and came under arrest and were reduced to slavery. Javik's mother was sent to the shipyards of Balmora, and the young Javik was sent to Dromund Kaas to work on the unfinished Colossus. When it was discovered he once served as a page in a noble house, he was transferred to serve under a Sith Lord, where his force powers were discovered, and was sent for training on Korriban. And this is where the story begins.
Shit, did I end the video like that? Oh, man! I think that's the best ending to a video I've literally made in my entire life. I just got a chill from my own thing that I made. Wow. Holy guacamole! And so at this point, this is where I would actually jump into playing Javik. And so this is part of the wonder of SWTOR. I kind of want to watch the other ones, but I don't think I have the stamina in me today. I think I'm gonna go nap. As I mentioned earlier, I am sleepy, but I'm gonna link this playlist for you guys in case you wanted to take a look at it yourself, or you wanted to. And this is where it starts. Yeah, I'm really happy with that video. I like I said, it's from 8 years ago, so I don't think I've watched it since then. But what were we talking about? There was a question earlier. Oh yeah, we had a question about role playing, which I thought was a very good question. I think Merc says, nope. Hang on, I can't read. Just a second. Yeah, do RP guilds use Roll20? That's a great question. So a more general question would be like, what do guilds use and not use when it comes to... Ooh, that's loud, sorry. What do guilds use and not use when it comes to tools? And so in my guild, I've always done roleplay when I joined, and I did roleplay for many years afterwards. And it really seems to depend on the person leading the roleplay. We've been through like 6 different systems. Some of them were using a system where you could have little points, very small condensed points you could put into different skills, and you could have roles. I've always, when I was a roleplay officer in charge of leading events, I would always do just purely theater of the mind, and in game there's no rolling, no stats, no anything like that. If there is a decision to be made, it's either something would come to a consensus, or me as the roleplay leader would just make the decision. When I did it with friends, we would just kind of talk about potential outcomes, kind of like writing a book together. In other guilds, I've seen them use different D&D like systems, or just not use any at all. There's some other roleplay light systems, kind of like D&D, but are less convoluted, you know, for roleplaying. And I don't think there's any standard. I don't think I've seen anyone use Roll20 specifically, because everything, I don't think you can have like, they don't have other games on Roll20, right? They don't have like other RPG games on Roll20. This is a question, not a statement. But you could definitely use some of the tools, like being able to roll, you know, and stuff like that, which are cool, that weren't around when I was playing a long time ago. Like I really like when I play D&D with my friends online. We use D&D Beyond, and I really like that there's that visual dice there, which is pretty cool. And yeah, SWTOR has a built-in slash roll that we used to use back in the day. A slash roll, and it would be like 1 through 100 or something like that. Yeah, or you can do it slash roll space 20. But yeah, there's no specific one size fits all, and a lot of guilds use Discord and can use some of the tools now that are built into Discord. Basically like different bots that can do different things. Oh, search Swtorista's old roleplay video? Yeah, I have no idea how that's like... I don't know how useful that still is. It still talks, it's the idea of like role-playing is still very valid, but how people physically role-play has changed quite a bit. Merc says Roll20 has proficiency skills, advantages and disadvantages. Oh yeah, there you go. So the back in the day, we didn't have quite as many cool tools as that on the internet. Back in my day, we used to keep all our guild stuff in a little forum, a little posting area, and we'd just have a little tiny character sheet, and the information would be posted there, and you just kind of had to write it down yourself, like old-fashioned D&D, you know, pen and paper, or I guess type and keyboard. All right, you guys, let's go see who else is playing Star Wars: The Old Republic today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I take a look at Javik. We will be back on Monday playing Operations. It will be community operations, which means anyone can join. Let's see, we saw Kitty yesterday. Is there anyone else I want to go say hi to? No, I don't think so. So let's go say hi to Kitty. Kitty is a very, very friendly player. If you have any more questions about the game, and I'm sorry I'm popping out early today, he is a great person to ask. And yeah, join us Monday, 8 a.m. I'll hopefully have slept and we'll be good to go. And you're welcome to join us Republic side, Starforge server, level 80 and subscribed. And we love taking along new people to level 80. You do not require any gear, skill, or experience. All right, you guys, see you Monday. Bye. I'm gonna go take a nap.